Last bit of the tour, Rio de Janiero. Those are the favelas, or some of them. But luckily the hotel was in a nicer area just by Copacabana Beach. First thing we did was the cable car to Sugarloaf Mountain. You have to get 2 cable cars, in fact. The view is just astonishing when you get to the top, and thankfully it wasn't cloudy. There's lots of cafes and restaurants and tourist stuff at the top. We got caught in a thunderstorm when it got dark and had to stay up there for an hour in case the cable car got struck by lightning. The next day we went up the funicular to see Christ the Redeemer, or at least his feet. Unfortunately it was cloudy that morning. The cloud cleared for a few moments and we managed to get a picture. Then the cloud came back in again. But we would have seen a spectacular view had we been lucky. Next day, back on the bus, we had a tour around various places, including seeing the favelas, not something I'd like to visit. But then we went to quite a respectable area called the Santa Teresa district. But again, the guide was very careful and saying, no, don't go anywhere that we don't tell you because you could get robbed. But it wasn't too touristy, and it was quite interesting. But apparently this is where a lot of the more well-to-do people live in their colonial-style houses. And I had some really nice food there in one of the bars. The next stop was the Lapa Steps, or the Escadaria Celeron, named after the artist who made it his life's work to basically install ordinary ceramic tiles along the whole length of this pedestrian passageway. After that, back on the bus, and we visited the Metropolitan Cathedral. Doesn't have a spire, but inside it's just unbelievable, really huge. Next stop, the main square with the famous municipal theatre based on the Paris Opera, also the Musée des Beaux-Arts and various other things. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to visit any of these. And at last, Copacabana Beach, which was fairly quiet, although it wasn't a weekend and it wasn't exactly hot. But we actually made it. There I am on Copacabana Beach, as you can see, relatively quiet. So some of us sat there for a bit and watched the various vendors selling ice creams and drinks and things like that. Just around the corner is the Ipanema Beach, behind which most of the middle classes live, and that's quieter, less touristy, and some of us thought it was a nicer beach in fact. And that's it, the end of my South American journey.